What do you do to redeem yourself when you've lost a position that's basically defined you for a very long time? So what do you do? Do you go back and try to get it back, or do you try a different tack? Well, let's see what Doctor Strange has to do.
Hey everybody, this is Mars from the Spinner Rack. I'm here for another Love It or Skip It, but this is a comic book review. I discovered a very delightful comic that I've been reading for the last couple of months called Doctor Strange of Asgard. And it's been pretty interesting in that, basically what's happening is that Doctor Strange is no longer Sorcerer Supreme of Earth. He was basically tricked by Doctor Doom to give up his title during the Bloodlust series, so you should check out when you get a chance. So now he needs to find a new purpose, and so he decides that, he can no longer help Earth, or probably he feels he really needs to be able to help Earth somehow. He decides to go to Asgard to see if he could become the new source. If they don't have one, become the new Sorcerer Supreme of Asgard, since there currently isn't one. But that's kind of weird because you figure there's probably tons of magical beings in Asgard. But hey, let's get back into the story. So when he goes to Asgard, he talks to Thor, who is the All Father right now. He is, not just against it, but basically he says, you need to talk to our leading magical authority, Hulda. Strange. He starts talking to, trying to find her. He goes to talk to different citizens of Asgard and to help find her. But one of the great things about this series, and we're going to talk probably a little bit more, is that here you finally see a ground level view of Asgardians. They're bigger, they're stronger than regular humans, but they have the same concerns. And it's pretty interesting. You see how they're going about their society, how they see Thor and his people, the king and the lords, are differently. The pubs or the taverns, you see the different jobs that people have, who's up or down in society. He basically befriends a guy named Holt, who was in the middle of a street scuffle, and he's able to, get him to take him to Hulda. While he's there, Hulda, who's very cynical of having Doctor Strange's "Why do we need a Sorcerer Supreme?" When we basically have magic around it, and the fact that Earth magic and Asgardian magic work very differently, Loki pops in. Now, Loki is currently banished from the realm, but he pops in, and then all of a sudden,
Holder is murdered. And the question is, who did it? Is it Loki that just did it? So Doctor Strange needs to get to the bottom of this.
so that's what happens in the first issue. In the second issue, basically, Doctor Strange takes him back down to Earth with Clea there, and he's able to get a confession from Loki that it wasn't him. Loki doesn't know anything about what happened, how it happened. He doesn't think he did it, or if he did it, he was compelled by someone else to do it. And Strange basically kind of agrees with him. Now we get into a mystery. Who killed Hulda and why? And like I said before, she's not exactly the most... she had many, many enemies, and she wasn't the friendliest person around. So what she does, he gets Hulda's apprentice to help him hide the body, and then they start trying to figure out what's happening. Of course, dealing with the earthbound magic, he has to now try and figure out how to make it effective in Asgard, or learn Asgardian magic so he can probably get around. Interesting fight. Some people said this series is really slow paced, but I find it very fascinating, and I think, hey, big thumbs up for those who are interested in watching it. So, Spin Rack out.